Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for having me. My name is Eduardo Luz. I will be presenting some lessons learned from my experience and from some experiences that I help people migrating or getting jobs here in Canada. So, first of all, who are you? As I said, Eduardo Luz. I am a master's degree in computer science, a bachelor in computer science as well. I've been working with software development for more than 25 years. And also I found some startups, some companies back in Brazil, helped some advisor here in Canada as well, and mentor in Mentoring Club. It's a European organization. And there I've been helping people for around the world. I think the only place that I haven't met anyone yet was from Australia and that area, Oceania in general. So one curiosity, I am a scouter and amateur radio as well. Some things that are not so common nowadays. So I will start this presentation, and just for you to understand, with a little bit of my experience back in Brazil, a little bit of my experience here in Canada, and then some hints that as I said, personally helped me a lot and help other people as well. So this is my city, Florianopolis. It's well-known city in Brazil. It's very small city, but it's very beautiful. Okay, I am born and I was raised there, and I don't know if you can see, but anyways, 1994 I started in software development, mostly in BASIC and other technologies. Until 1998, I started to work with mainframes, COBOL, this sort of stuff. 2001, I founded my first company. It was a startup, although on that time, there was no, we haven't used it in Brazil, the term of startup, okay? But it was a first company there. And I can say that in general, we did a lot of wrong things, messed up a lot. We've helped me learn as well to help other people in the future. We will see a little bit. 2001 to 2002, I was teacher, and I work as a public employee from 5 years as well. Then, in 2008, I get back to entrepreneurial career, where I got until 2016. In the middle of this journey, especially the last step, I started to mentor people to migrate to IT. Also, I was advisor of some startups in Brazil, and I started my dream or my plan to come to Canada. Now, we have a little bit of interleave here, but my journey in Canada. So in 2015, as I said, I started my first visit. I came, essentially, I visited San Francisco, then Vancouver, Calgary, and then Toronto. It was 1.5 months of journey to look and see, find places, connect with people, and try to decide which place my family and I would come. In 2017, we landed to Vancouver, where I got my first job at Counterpath. 2021, I moved here to Calgary during the pandemic. And I got my second job, which was for Quest Global, in 2022. My third jobs at Mercados. And finally, all of them remote jobs, okay? Except the first one where I was there and there was no reason to be remote until I came to Calgary, where I started to be remote. Finally, this year I started as instructor in CTT and at Checkfront, okay? So you can see a couple of jobs, and this is, bear with me because this is something that is important as well, the number of jobs. So before we get into the hints, it's important. I would like just to see here, if you, raise your hand if you are immigrant, just to have an idea here. Okay, perfect. So probably some points here you can relate to yourself, okay? You don't need to raise your hand if you relate, okay? So first of all, personal adaptation. I have to see my sheet here because I have a lot of points and I don't want to miss anyone here, okay? I will not be reading the slides, not this one, but the first point is why you are here, okay? Do you have strong motives, desires, why you are here, why you want to immigrate, okay? This is, if you don't have a strong motive to be here, it's very likely at the first problem that you face, you can come back, okay? Second thing about this point is, if you come with your family, are you all agreed that this is what you want? I saw a lot of families or breaking or returning to their countries because they don't have agreement among them, okay? This is very, very important. And another point is important is about how you adapt, how do you accept the culture, the local. And this is something that I will mix with other point soon. Second thing is about communication. And this is serious because in general, we have that imposter syndrome that we think that we don't speak very well. And in fact, we may not speak very well. The thing is, I learned that we have to communicate better, not necessarily to speak perfectly, okay? And this is one lesson that I've learned, not that we have to speak as wrong and is everything okay. No, we are learning, okay? But when we came to Canada, I was very afraid to do what I am doing here, to make a presentation, speak even among some natives, and it's very, very hard. It was very, very hard for me, okay? So I encourage you to do this sort of things. If you are studying, it's much better because you have this, sometimes you have to make presentations and put yourself in this spot. It's very important, okay? Another thing is, yeah, don't worry about grammar. Is not the most important. You have to communicate, okay? Transmit your ideas. Another point is about the Canadian experience. And this is a bit tricky because in our area, not always is required this Canadian experience. And what this means? Well, what I can see is that this Canadian experience means that you know the culture you are inserted. So let me give you an example. In Brazil, we have a very harsh environment of the professional environment. So what this means is you have to produce a lot to get hired and keep in your job. You have to be very competitive. And what this means is, if you don't accept to start to keep working late because you are delivering a project that is not that important, but you have to show that you are interested in keep working, you feel that you may be replaced. You can lose your job, okay? Well, I didn't see anything like that here in Canada on these almost 8 years. And quite the opposite. What I saw is the companies want you to do your job during your working hours and then go home, relax. Okay? So this is one thing that I saw in the culture, and I believe that part of this Canadian experience is linked not only this, but because you know the company knows that you are used to all things about this culture. And also you have reference. You know, if I am hiring someone, I know that I can trust someone will tell about you, will say how is your work, how you behave in the company. Okay, and we'll get back soon on this point as well. So, this is mixed with what I already saw. Okay, and about this challenge, one thing that I want to highlight here is very, very important. It's very, let's say, comfortable for us to meet people from our countries, from our people, and stay with them because it's easier. Okay? This is a phenomenon that I found. I can say that is very, quite often. And what I want to say is, don't do that so much. Try to mix, try to connect with others. And this is not only for work, it's for life. Because you are living in a country where you want to grow, where you want to get a job, where you want to grow your kids, and you want to connect with more people. It's good for you, it's good for your kids, it's good for everyone. And more people knowing you, knowing how you work, this networking helps you to grow and not only get stuck in your community, local community, okay? So this will improve your English communication, the culture, opportunities, and so on, okay? And immigration. I used to say one thing that is important, is PR, it's one goal, but it's not a goal. It's not the goal, okay? Because there is life after the PR. I saw a lot of people, and PR for those with the permanent residence, I saw a handful of people who try as much as possible find ways to get the so desired PR. So they decided to find a career that could get easier. Perfect. But the problem is, after they get the PR, they had no clue what to do. For example, they got made a degree university in some area, which was easier to get a PR. But after that, was harder to get a job because they were not experts on that area. So this is one thing that I call your attention, okay? And one phrase that I found, I heard from a Canadian who helped me even before on my first visit was that, quote, may have better ways to immigrate, find yours. Okay, so be sincere. Don't try to find one way that is not truly yours way to get your immigration. Okay. Another challenge. Yeah, that's it. And frauds, which here I want to highlight two things. One is about the false recruiters. Okay, so be aware of that. This is a challenge. We are looking for immigrate. Oh, something. I think something. Não aconteceu nada. Okay, thank you. About these frauds, we have two things that one is about the false recruiters, okay, who will reach you to try to get your money, okay, or something like that. Another one is when you get a job, but this job is offered for a company which want to explore you. So give you lower wages, no benefits, and they will help you with your immigration process, but will lock your status here in Canada, and then because you are afraid of getting fired, because otherwise you will be you have to get back to your country. Okay, so this is some challenges that we can face here. All of them I found in my personal experience or experience from other people who I met. Now, linking to your first IT job and some considerations. Okay, there are two types of jobs. Be aware of that. First of all, pay the bills job. And pay the bill jobs essentially are those jobs that you want to work because you want to get money. That's it. You have no other opportunity, and you have to work it. Okay, and that there are those green jobs that on companies that you like, companies that you think that okay, I would love to work on that company. Okay. So we'll talk about those. About other consideration, know yourself, what you are good at. Especially, this is in my experience. In Brazil, we are very generalistic. I don't know about you, but we have to work a lot in different areas. So if I have to present my resume, it's very wide experience. So the thing is, I can program in Ruby. Yeah, I can. I have a little knowledge about that, but I can trust that I can get a job and work as a senior developer in Ruby. No, I don't. But when we are looking for a job, we sometimes accept not the challenge, but we step in this kind of situation, this context where we are going to something that we are not so good at. So first of thing, try to find what you are good at, what are your weaknesses, and be bold. Again, don't step out because you are not sure that you can get that job, but be sincere. Don't lie. Okay? And very, very important thing, networking. And networking does not mean you connect to someone on LinkedIn. This is not what I am talking about. I'm talking to be present. And to be present, I means constantly talking to people, constantly show what you can do. Try to find what those people need and try to help them. This is networking. Okay, so if you find someone who are looking for a job and you know a job who can fit for their profile, you can connect, make these bridges. This is networking. Now, landing your first IT job. The process that I use is based on this sentence. Now, your job now is to find a job. What this means, you are full-time looking for a job, okay? Because you have some steps. First of all, research. And on the research, you have to look. Okay, first of all, remember those dream jobs versus pay-the-bill jobs? The research, you will have a little time on the pay-the-bill jobs, looking on Indeed, LinkedIn, and so on. So looking for jobs. But on the dream jobs, for let's say example, let's see that's, for example, your dream company is to work to IBM, okay? And you are researching. So what you research? You will research about the company, the products, the position that you are applying to, okay? You are researching the people who are working there, the person who is recruiting, if you possible, okay? Try to connect with key people there, okay? And make questions, ask questions, okay? Ask questions about how is work there, what is the problems that they have, and these kind of things. Of course, you will spend some time on that. On the paid-bill jobs, you can spend maybe 15 minutes each job posting, but for the dream job, you can spend hours or more, okay? The next part is the application itself. And now this is the most important part, because the application is where you are putting your intention to work there. And on the application, remember the last part on the research, if you connect it to someone? This is the part where you can ask for a referral. And I can say, I am pretty sure that you have more chances to get a job if you are a referral for someone who works there. Okay? 100% of times that I saw people getting a job, it was easier. Of course, not all people that I met was from referral, but all times that it was by referral was much easier. Okay, so now on the application, some hints here. Create a folder and create a kind of a file for each application. Okay, and before I go on this, let me just give you one glimpse of my personal experience. Remember in 2017 when I landed here in Canada and I got my first job. Well, at that moment, I spent, it was around 1 month to get from landing to get my job, okay? And I spent whole day applying, and I had more than 100 applications to get 26 interviews, screening interviews by phone, 8 presential interviews in person, where I could talk to them, and 2 offers. Okay? Now, I had 100 applications. What if, in the middle of this process, someone just called me, say, oh, here's the recruiter of the company ABC, and I want to talk to you. Wow, nice. Let me get back to my file, my folder, and look for that, and try to find what I wrote there. And why I'm saying that? Because the application, this is a trap. Don't send your resume, make one resume and send to your 100 companies. Don't do that. Okay? What I recommend you is, based on your research, prepare your resume and customize it for that job. If they are asking for some technologies that you know, highlight those technologies, your experience to those. And then you can apply. But if you don't know what you wrote there, if you don't keep track of your records, you can forget the company, forget about the job, and so on. Another thing is, the application is, as I said, apply, apply, and apply. Don't wait for a response to then move on. Some applications, the response may take months. I personally had one, I think which took longer was 6 months. So I applied in December, and in May, I got a call from a recruiter from that company. Okay. Let me see here. It's important, of course. These things looks like they are obvious, but try to find about the culture, the company, and most important, prepare your story. One of the skills, soft skills that we need to develop, it's about the storytelling. We need to prepare a story telling why I want to work on that company, why I am a good fit for that company. Because the first stage of any process is the screening. And the screening, someone who not necessarily knows about your technical skills will interview you for looking for your soft skills, looking for your culture fit, and so on. Okay? So prepare your story. Now, one more hint. I don't want to spend so much time, but on the application is when you pass by the screening, you go to the tech interview, okay? And in the tech interview, one thing that I always recommend is bring them to your field. In other words, who is interviewing? And I know because I interview a lot as well, okay? We have a list of questions, and not necessarily those questions reflect what the company are working on. Are technical questions to filter the candidates. So, what I recommend is try to, again, prepare your story, prepare your portfolio, and bring them to your story. If you have a project related to some question, you can say, okay, this is the answer, and now let me bring you my experience on this, about a practical experience based on your question. And with that, you can spend half of the interview process showing that you have much more than knowledge, but experience. Okay? So this is something that is important. And that is related to what we already saw, about to know yourself, your projects, and so on. Okay? Now, let's suppose, okay, this is the interview. Let's suppose you got your offer. It's very often I got my offer. That's all. It's perfect. But let's suppose that you have had these 2 or 3 processes in parallel running. Of course, you are not telling to them that you are accepting or not. You got 2 offers, or you got 1 offer, but the other company that you want much more than that, it's delaying their process. So what you can do, first of all, you can talk to other company and say that you are running and you got an offer for other company. Don't lie, only if this is true. And then they can decide if they can accelerate the process or not. I personally had this experience. Okay, my first company, Counterpath, as I said before, I got 2 offers. I got 1 offer, which was a very bad offer. And related to this, the offer was just an email saying, okay, you can start tomorrow. I had nothing of contract, salary, benefits, vacation, nothing. Only that. So, but I was immigrant, just landing, I need the money. What I said, I contacted the other company and said, okay, I really liked your company, I really liked to work for you, but I received another offer. I need to get a response, if possible, by end of today. And they give. So this is something that we need to understand, that when we get a job offer, not necessarily we have to accept, but we can ask for more information. Not ever we have to accept at very beginning. Okay, we can negotiate. And finally, the onboarding. Once you accept your offer, we can get very, let's say, nervous with this offer. And okay, it's my first time, my first job here in Canada. I don't know what I have to do. So my hint to you is try to connect as much as possible with your peers, your colleagues. Try to understand the problems that the company is facing. Try to understand the technology and experiment them. Learn before you have to learn there. Okay? So these will give you more chances to keep going. Okay? And the next steps. Keep your eggs sharp. What this means? Keep learning and look for interviews. You remember when I said that I got 5 jobs into these 8 years, approximately, okay? The thing is, it's not that bad when you move the job, especially if you are not, of course, fired, of course. But the thing is, when I learned that in the middle of my career at Counterpath, I started to apply for some jobs, not necessarily because I want to leave, but because I want to know what the market is asking, who is looking for. So I started to apply for jobs, get some interviews, and learn what they are looking. And I could learn not only by myself, but I could bring to my company the technologies that they were looking. Okay? So I was always being prepared to a move, because one thing that is, no company will hesitate to lay off a lot of people if they need to. Okay, and I had this experience. So keep your axe sharp and be open to changes. Sometimes you can get another offer, and you can consider that. Okay, and then as immigrants, you have to revisit your priorities. Sometimes you want to prioritize some company, some job that you are having lower salary, but will be a better future, more better benefits, or better immigration, but sometimes not. So there is no wrong and right answer for this, okay? This is what you have to be open to. So, yeah, that's what I was talking. Okay, what is better for you? So I try to condensate a lot of things here. I have a lot of other things that I haven't passed, but the most important things I already covered here. Now, if you have any questions, okay?
Thanks for sharing your experience. You mentioned some frauds. Maybe you could provide some examples from red flags we should pay attention to.
Okay, sorry, share what?
Red flags, what we should take care about the frauds.
The frauds. Okay, first of all, when you receive a message in your phone saying that you want to, oh, I am offering a really nice job, it's a scam. If you receive in your LinkedIn a message saying that, oh, your profile is, I saw your profile and it's perfect for this job, and you can see that clearly there is nothing with your profile, it's a scam. If you receive, I had this experience. It's funny because a recruiter which has no links with the company that they were recruiting for. This is important. I start to look around on the LinkedIn, the contacts and so on. So she was not working for that company. And what I did, I looked for a lot of people from that company. I connected with them and I asked them about her. And they confirmed she was working as a contractor, but she had no confirm on the LinkedIn the job. But this was an let's say exception. In general, are fake. So be very critical with the communications that you have. Don't rely, especially if they ask for money, ask for personal informations like take a picture of your passport or your SIN number or things like this. Don't do that. Nobody here will ask you for these informations unless on the very late stage, the SIN number only for tax purpose. Okay, so I hope this. Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your talk and congratulations for your career path. I have a doubt. Recently, I had a screening call, and I'm still working for Brazil. And I started in January this year, and the recruiter asked me, I see that you started your job in January. Why are you looking for a new job? My honest answer could be because I want to be paid in dollars, not in Brazilian reals, but obviously I didn't answer that. But I would like to know, in your opinion, what would be a good answer for this question in that context? Because I'm happy with my job, but when I divide it into four, it's not good to live in Canada. That's why I'm looking for a job here in Canada.
Okay, so just to be clear, you said that you started in January to work in a Brazilian company? Okay, and okay, now when you receive a contact from here, an interviewer, a recruiter from here, and they ask this question, what you can say is, wow, I am here in Canada and I want to immigrate to here, or I want to get more about this environment, this culture. So again, be sincere and bring this why you are applying for a job here. Okay, so there is no. I would say that here is much better, much simpler to answer this kind of question than in Brazil. Because in Brazil, if they ask something like that, sometimes are tricky questions. They want to just to catch you in some mistake.
That was my fear.
Yeah, here is not like that.
More questions? Two. Thanks, Eduardo.
Thank you so much.